The things you get into when you're talking rock and roll,
Well,
I'm telling
yes.
you. Eric telling us about streaking and everything. No, this is Eric.
I wasn't talking about streaking. Hang on a second here.
I'm going to get this name. No, I'm not. Svalgard?
Svalgard.
Yeah, Svalgard.
Yes,
Eric
that's the way
Svalgard.
Americans pronounce it.
Yeah, and how would it be pronounced?
Swaligo.
Swalligo.
Swalligo.
I might have been
See,
better.
that'd be better for him.
Swalligo, yeah. But you're from the School of Rock.
Yes.
What is the School of Rock first?
Paul Green, a music teacher in Philadelphia in the late 90s, started finding that his students, he was teaching guitar and bass, and his students had no place to get together and play. So he started letting them come to his house, play in their basement, and that generated the idea of having a show. So what he started doing was he started renting rehearsal spaces in Philly and putting on shows, and that in 1996 he opened up Paul Green School of Rock on Arch Street and 13th, which is now a big hole where they're putting the new convention center. And it grew from that to now we're at 35 schools across the country.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I started with Paul in 2002, and there were about 65 kids in the school, and it was just that school. And then about a year and a half later, someone decided to invest some money and turn it into franchises, and I was hired to open up the first franchise in Downingtown, Pennsylvania.
Right.
And I ran that for about a year and a half, and then opened up my own school down here in Delaware at the Grand Opera House in May of 2006. So we just had celebrated our second anniversary.
And now you're not at the Grand Opera House
No,
anymore,
we just moved. We're at 44 Century Boulevard, which is right by the Walmart in Price's Corner.
141, everybody knows where that is.
Right,
Yeah,
right off of Centerville Road there.
Right.
Centerville and Boxwood.
But let's qualify you a little bit, because people aren't going to understand you just weren't a guitar player or something.
No, unfortunately, I'm a keyboard player, and I know that doesn't
they
sit
don't
well
rate
with
very
me.
high, do they?
Yeah, no,
But
it's something I've had to overcome, but I'm working on it.
But you qualify because you went to Berkeley, I guess.
I was in Berkeley College of Music in the 70s. I was a rock and roller. I mean, my parents.
He didn't learn much then, buddy.
The typical.
Streaking, he struck. I know he did.
The typical route.
Come on, let's do it again.
My parents forced me to take piano lessons, which I hated.
Right.
And then
I wish mine would have forced me.
At about 13, I realized, hey, there's keyboards on that Eric Burdon and the Animals song. So I started learning stuff and playing with rock bands. And then when I got out of high school, I didn't know what to do. So I figured, I'll go to music college. So I ended up at Berkeley College of Music and went out of the business. After I graduated, I was in funk bands and did some stuff out on the West Coast for a while, and then kind of gave it up to raise a family.
Yeah,
and
you have a daughter that's been through the program.
I have a daughter and a son. My son actually works with me, and my daughter is a songwriter in Nashville, Tennessee, and she's actually doing fairly well. I mean, she's
making Daddy proud.
She really is. She's got a deal with Cherry Lane Publishing. She's a songwriter for them, and she'll be in Philly very shortly. She's got a gig at the World Cafe Live.
You're out there. You're still playing, because I'm looking here. I don't know if you get out a lot. Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but yeah, I play the music of Frank Zappa, which again, it's not great. It doesn't make me really popular at at cocktail hour, because a lot of people don't appreciate his music. But there's a market for it. We go out and we play with alumnus. Of course, Frank has been gone since '96. He died in '96.
Right.
But I play with Napoleon Murphy Brock, who was in the band in the 70s, Ike Willis, who was Joe and Joe's Garage. I don't know if you're familiar with that music at all. But a lot of the alumnus from his various bands throughout the years play with our band. And we go out usually for 2 or 3 weeks every 6 months. We're actually leaving on tour November 18th, and again, World Cafe Live, B.B. King's, and we're going Boston and Albany. It's mostly Northeast.
Going out and
this
having
time.
fun. That's
And it's good because it keeps me involved in the business and gives me kind of a credential that if I was just a teacher, I wouldn't have. And one of the things about our program is we're really more of a performance-based program. What separates us, and no disrespect to the music store schools, but what separates us from them is that we work on.
Respect to everyone here.
That's all.
We get the kids up on stage playing, and that's what we're about. I mean, it's one thing to sit in a basement and learn your E-flat harmonic minor scales from a guy who's been teaching for 25 years. It's another thing to stand up on a stage and plug into a Fender amp from the 70s and turn it up to 8 and play with other kids your own age. And
I like
play
to go to
music that
11.
you like.
Yeah.
I don't have those ones that go to 11, thankfully.
No, blowing everything out. But you know, and that's all. You know, it's all for fun. I mean, that's the main thing. But like you, it can go beyond fun to a career. I mean, there's a lot. You know.
And I would say probably if you look at it, maybe 10% of the people who come out of rock school actually pursue it after rock school. A lot of them, you know, they do rock school and they're done. Last season, we had 6 students offered scholarships to Berklee College of Music from the local schools. So the school, the Paul Green School of Rock, is gaining national recognition from music colleges. I've got some students who are very serious about it, and I've got some other students who are there for, as you say, just to have fun. The one thing that I always sell this program on is that for the rest of their lives, and a lot of the kids come to the school with absolutely no performance experience at all. For the rest of their lives, if they ever get into a situation, say, like this,
right,
or if they have to give a presentation in front of a bank
well, we can see it hasn't bothered you to get up here on the stage. That's for sure. Eric,
he needs to liven up a little.
You're going to have to come back because I enjoy hearing the different things, and it's just enjoyable to talk to you. But for more information on the School of Rock, you can go to the SCHOOLOFROCK.com.
SCHOOLOFROCK.com. The local school is SCHOOLOFROCK.de for Delaware.com. But if you go to SCHOOLOFROCK.com, you can find your way to our school. And like I said, we're right at 44th Century Boulevard. And our telephone number is 225-ROCK, which is
Rock. That's easy, 225-ROCK. And thank you again for coming. We're going to send cameras down to the school, and we're going to cover some more on our other programs.
Awesome.
Here.
Thank you very much for having me.
Big hand for Eric and the School of Rock. Stay with us. We'll be right back right after this.
To find out more about the Tim Qualls Show and other Positive Promotion productions, then log on to our website at www.posprotv.com.